Hi everybody, this is Nick with the Heroes Journal, and today we are walking through the first couple pages of the Istoria Magic Academy journal, coming to Kickstarter February 16th. We announced the names of the colors recently. This is Mystic Blue, and this is Cauldron Gray. These are just prototypes. We'll have better looking final versions for you guys, but wanted to give you the quick announcement of the colors, because today we're going to be walking to the beginning. So instead of doing it in the physical book, we're actually going to jump into the PDF version, which, good news, there will be a PDF that you can do, digital journaling with, or fillable fields, however you like to journal. The Istoria Magic Academy will meet you where you're at. So let's hop into it. Okay, so opening up the journal, the first thing you'll see is the title page, starting the Heroes Journal Magic Academy. The next thing you'll see is who the journal belongs to, and then some copyright information, which isn't very important. So write, who the journal belongs to, and it says student info because you are now a student at the Istoria Magic Academy. Then we start with the Once Upon a Time page. Really pretty page. I love how Ryan did it. Kind of starting to get you immersed into the story. I'm not going to read everything. That's for you to find out later. There's an introductory letter from Kyle and I. You can see it's being delivered from the Istoria Magic Academy. Quota is carrying that letter. So you flip the page and you get to the first exercise, which is finding your North Star, and then ultimately theme setting. The whole point of this section is for you to identify, before you even set out on your quest, what is the thing that you want to tell a better story about. There is a small field on the right-hand page. It says, I want a better story about my further down that page, you'll also see some questions that help to prompt what that thing might be. Now, again, this can change. So let yourself, really just jump in and follow your feelings. It can always change halfway through the journal. It can change a week into your goal. It's totally fine. This isn't necessarily the goal that you're going after. It's more so the reason that you're doing it. So you want to find what the bad story you're telling about yourself is, write down what you want a better story about, and then go on from here. The next thing you're going to find is the call to adventure page. There's a little bit of background information on what we believe the call to adventure to really be when it comes to setting a goal, and then defining your quest. This is kind of the nitty gritty. This is the goal that you are trying to accomplish. So for instance, maybe your North Star is that you want a better story about your health, maybe your physical health, we'll say. So then your quest would be something like, I want to lose 10 pounds. I want to lose 15 pounds. I want to, run a marathon. Maybe I want to lift more weight, something like that, right? Something that would give you a better story about your health. So that's kind of the idea there. Your quest can typically be a little more hands-on, right? So maybe you want to run 2 miles like every single day for 3 months. Or maybe you want to scale up your training, whatever it may be. The way that we think about it is that your North Star is a thing that's up in the sky, kind of guiding you in a direction. Your quest can definitely change a little bit, especially as you move forward. So again, same thing with the North Star. All this is liable to change. It's just about the story that you want to tell, but your quest is your goal, kind of the achievable things. Next is the refusal of the call, which is of course a classic step in any hero's journey. The hero is always afraid to go on the adventure limit, but we know they have to. So there's a very human moment in every story. And we try and capture this moment by asking some really critical questions. So one thing is we ask, what is the cost of not going? A lot of people like to analyze the risk of doing something, but oftentimes as humans, we just forget to really ask ourselves, what's the cost of actually not going, of not getting out of my comfort zone, of not setting out on that quest? So that's the first question. And the second question is a little more optimistic, right? What kind of progress could I realistically make in 3 months, right? So it's a little bit of dreaming there. Then the last question is kind of about damage control, right? For those who may have anxiety about maybe not doing something perfectly, or maybe feeling like it's too big of a risk, this question is really asking, what is the worst possible thing that could happen if you accept this quest, right? Maybe if you're doing a health quest like we've been talking about, you go out and you buy a bunch of workout clothes and then you never use them. Or maybe you buy a bunch of gym equipment and you never use it. Okay, maybe worst that can happen is you're out of a couple of $100 or whatever. That's not the end of the world. It's better to try that than, never try at all. So that's kind of the way to think about that question. Okay, moving on. Then you have the accepting your quest page. So this is just a page for you to sign your name, to sign the date when you started your quest, and to sign to yourself to agree to accept this quest. You can also think about this, because it is a magic school, you can also kind of think about this as your acceptance letter. You're kind of signing to agree to the Istoria Magic Academy. You're agreeing to this adventure. So time to set out. So that's accepting the call. Then we have a quick explanation of what's on the daily page, but I'll do that here on the video. Then you get your first page of the Istoria Historical Chronicler. So we have a little bit of a newspaper kind of articles that are sprinkled throughout the journal. Every single act break, you will see a newspaper that kind of shapes the world, gives you a little bit of the story of what's going on around the Istoria Magic Academy as you attend it. So kind of a fun thing that we did that was new this time around. Then of course you have the classic act page introducing what's going on. So yeah. Okay, this is the first daily page in the Heroes Journal Istoria Magic Academy. I'm gonna explain some of the elements here. So the first thing that you'll see on the left-hand side is what you are grateful for. That's where I always love to start. So I write the 3 things that I'm grateful for. Usually it's a person, sometimes it's coffee, whatever it may be. I try and really dig deep and make sure to remind myself that things are good in my life. So then I'll write the date, I will circle the day of the week, and then I usually move over to my quest action. So one thing that we are really passionate about at the Heroes Journal is writing down your quest every single day. It's all about aligning your mindset and aligning your schedule with what you are trying to accomplish. Remember, you got this journal for a reason, and that reason was probably aligned with your North Star. So your quest is kind of an extension of that, and I know if you're anything like me, you will forget to work on your quest if you don't write it down every day. So I usually write down my quest, and then I write down the seize the day things that have to get done so that today feels like a win. So for the sake of simplicity, let's say that you wanted to do an exercise quest. You would probably write, run 3 miles, or go to the gym, or do yoga, or whatever it might be, somewhere on your seize today. And in fact, it might even be the top thing. You can see that little frog icon on the page. That is something that we associate with a concept called eating the frog, which is basically just a Mark Twain quote that we associate with doing the hardest thing first, the thing that you are most likely to avoid, the thing that's most likely to slip through the cracks if the rest of the day takes your attention. You try and put that first in your day. So in this instance, it would be working out or exercising. So I would take that, I would write it in my seize the day, and then I would find a place in my daily schedule, which is back on the left-hand side of the journal, to fit that in. So that way I'm not only saying it needs to get done for the day, I'm actually scheduling it in the time where it belongs. Really making that commitment. There's something that we believe is really special about seeing a commitment in your own handwriting every single day. So that is kind of an analog calendar, an analog day planner, if you will. Very old school, but really effective. So then you move on to allies and threats. I usually break allies and threats down to a person, place, or thing. And usually I try and write one of each for every day. So I'll write, coffee might be a thing, Kyle might be a person. And these are all allies, by the way. And then we'll say my office might also be an ally because I can focus and get work there, get work done. Or maybe for my exercise quest, the gym would be an ally because that's a place where I go to further my quest. A threat, on the other hand, might be something like eating junk food, or it might be something like a distracting person or a distracting, draining conversation with an actual individual person. Or it could be something like, being on social media for too long to distract me from my work or my quest that I have to do. So that's just a way to kind of daily identify what's going to help me, what's going to propel me towards my goal, and for my to seize the day list, and what is going to, be dead weight. What's something that's going to be, kind of a hindrance to those things that I need to get done. And then of course there is a bullet journal style notes page for anyone who likes to doodle or write down, more to-do lists or what have you. And of course there's also the quote of the day. Now, of course, to start out the Istoria Magic Academy, we had to start with a Harry Potter quote, which is, "I solemnly swear I am up to no good." So then fast forwarding to the reflection section, in the Istoria Magic Academy, we actually have a point of reflection every 7 daily pages. Now, the pages are undated, so you don't have to fill them out every single day. But for those who do like to do that, for those who have that habit of journaling every single day, you will get a reflection kind of weekly. So the reflection section here just has a couple questions that kind of relate to the story. So the first one says, congratulations on making it through the first part of your journey. You should be proud. Do you feel like you've crossed the threshold out of your comfort zone? What was the hardest part of getting started? So some of the questions in the reflection kind of relate to what's happening in the story here, and hopefully they're relevant to your quest as well. We tried to integrate them a little deeper into the story this time around, and we hope you really love it. Now, another thing that we made different this time around that we are so excited to show you guys is that the art on every single daily page changes slightly from the day before. So you will see sort of a flip book story told as you progress on your goal. The story progresses with you. So here's an example. I'll just do a quick flip through. This is 7 daily pages. This is when the students get into the Istoria Magic Academy and they show their dorm rooms. So this is day number 1 in this section. Day number 2. Day number 3. Day number 4. Day number 5. You can see you is kind of getting into the dorm room there. Number 6. Kind of at nighttime now, still in the same scene. You is checked into the dorm room. And then the last daily page, you is stretching, getting ready for bed. Classes start tomorrow in the story. So pretty exciting. Then you move into an act break page. So we introduced a new exercise that we are calling self-study for this journal. So it's a lot like the reflection questions throughout, but there are more of them and they're actually asked in the first person. So it's a more direct way to get some deeper insights on how your goal is going. So I'll just read the first one, which is, what have I learned about my motivation, willpower, and habits? So it's a lot more direct. It's less tied in with the story. It's more about just you and your personal development. This is a great tool for someone who likes to use this journal and then look back on the growth that they made over time. This is a really good section, the self-study section, to look back on. So it's important that you fill these out as you move through the journal. So we had a problem. And that problem was that every other journal, every other productivity journal that we had used, and honestly, most productivity tools, do a decent job of getting you started on a goal. They do a decent job of getting you set up and getting you kind of moving forward, but we couldn't really find anything that did a good job of helping you finish. There was a lot of intro content, but there wasn't any outro content. And the truth is that a good story deserves a good ending. So we wanted to challenge ourselves by creating some more insightful outro content, some incentive to finish this journal, even if it takes you way longer than you thought it would. We still wanted heroes to complete this journal and be proud of what they did. So the page on the left is blurred out because it's a little bit of a spoiler and I don't want to spoil the story for you guys. But on the right side of the page, it says, congratulations, hero, you've done it. And then there's some reflection questions there to kind of help your overall quest, take form and to be able to kind of look back and help you create a story of the last 3 or so months of what your quest was like. Then you'll move on, you'll get kind of an outro letter from, me and Kyle. And then there will also be a QR code that you can scan that will take you to a web page where we are collecting the completed quests of many, many heroes, which is a really exciting project that we're really excited about. More on that later. Then, of course, what would the end of some time at the Istoria Magic Academy be if you didn't get a diploma? So this is kind of our version of a diploma. You get to sign your name. You get to sign the date, just like the beginning of the journal. You get to sign again. You get to date when you finished it. And you kind of have a cheeky diploma that you can keep forever in the Istoria Magic Academy. Beyond that, there's a quick kind of faculty yearbook page. Then we have the bestiary and the campus map. And then we have some free pages. So if you are someone that wishes there were more notes in the back of the Heroes Journal, this is your chance. And that is the Istoria Magic Academy. Well, thank you so much for watching this walkthrough. We are thrilled to be bringing you this new journal. We can't wait to get these two not these exact two journals, but the same journals out into the world. Thank you so much for checking out our campaign. We hope that you become a backer and become the first person to get your hands on the Istoria Magic